This show is brought to you by Kosta's Greek Eatery and Pizzeria.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, and good evening, and good morning, and you can watch us anytime on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, and welcome to a Tuesday edition. I am Mike Mayo, joined as always by Jeff Defo DeForest and Mike Lubie Lubitz, coming to you from his kitchen of the number 2 eater and drinker on the Lunchbox. Now that he has, I want to see another bottle of wine because you pulled out that Fess Parker Pinot 2018, which, as wine connoisseurs know, that's a pretty decent bottle of grape juice there.
That was made by Fess Parker, the actor, I think. I don't believe it was the vineyard.
Well, at least he
some
shows
old geezer squished some pomegranates together
sure
and
there's
called
no
it wine.
screen.
Get out of here. What are you talking about, Mike?
No, at least he shows a little bit more range. And, as a sports guy, Defo, I would think that you'd appreciate some range. And every time I look up...
You would talk badly about handicapped people. I'm beginning to believe that. I've told you a zillion times about my red wine. I have an aversion to it, not because I don't like the way it tastes. I probably would love it, and any variety of red wines, but it has a negative impact on my stomach. Okay, that's it. So why would you drink something and force yourself to drink something that you know is not going to make you feel good? It's crazy. So those are my limitations. It's not because of lack of imagination or expanding my taste. It's just strictly because I can't drink this stuff. Okay, so what am I going to do?
Have you ever gotten this condition assessed? I mean, because you eat all manner of garbage, I would think that. But
I was going to say chicken fried rice. 3 words from last night: chicken fried rice. May's Kitchen. You talk about a hole in the wall. That is May's Kitchen. A little bit dangerous, a little bit scary, it seems like, to go in, but nonetheless, they were the only place open since, I don't know, how long is this Peking Duck House? Did they leave the country, the guys from the Peking Duck House in Atlanta? They've been remodeling now for 6 months. What's going on? I mean, is it Runway 84 type of remodeling? What are they doing there?
Oh, the visas might have expired. I don't know what's going on. Peking Duck House has been around for a while.
Very popular, yeah.
I have no idea.
Good place.
A lot of times these places that have been around a long time, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's all the same ownership. They change hands. So I haven't really investigated. I'm not very invested in Peking Duck House. It is one of those weird places that, I have on my list of,
it's a good spot.
Places that have been around for a long time and that I've driven past literally probably 1,000 times, and I've never been in there. So,
do you believe the sign, though? Literally, it actually says on the marquee, or it used to. It doesn't anymore, but it would say world's best Peking duck. Now, it's hard to imagine that the world's best Peking duck is being made on Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach, but you know what? If you take it at face value, then that's where you get it.
I always find duck. Yeah, I always find these claims of when you say, okay, best Peking duck in Pompano, that's a claim I could believe.
No, there was no clarification. It was world's best.
When you expand it to world's best, that's a pretty broad brush. And
nice
immediately, I would say the credibility might suffer because of that. I would say maybe we have good Peking duck, but I'm a man who's a little bit modest. I don't like to go around over.
Well, you're not going to put that on a sign. Hey, our stuff is okay. I mean, you're not going to put that on a sign to try and attract people, Mike. Come on.
No, you know what a really clever sign was? A pizza place down in Miami that has since come and gone, but it was an import from Brooklyn called Paulie G's, and somebody on Yelp apparently didn't like it and proclaimed it the world's worst pizza. So what they did is on their billboard say, "Come in and try the world's worst pizza."
Not bad, but I mean, it's no surprise they're not still around. I mean, if you just take it from an advertising standpoint, it was probably a weak position to take. Although I might have been tempting to go in there and try it. I don't know what would comprise the world's worst pizza.
Right.
I've had some
that's
awful
pizza. That's
what
you got to say. Is it like
variations?
Is it worse than the Ilios, frozen pizza that I used to consume as a child, and just basically, that was the square cut bread that you pour on a little bit of tomato paste or even ketchup and with some really bad shredded. Now I don't know what would make the world's worst pizza, and some people would say, pizza's like sex. Even bad pizza
Still
is
pizza.
okay. So,
Yeah, it's still pizza.
Anyway,
Yeah.
here we are, gentlemen. It's a Costas
You never
Greek
tried a duck
Eatery
out there at
pizza.
Peking Duck House. I'm surprised. They might have changed hands. That's possible because the owner died, Kenny,
Oh, well,
who I
okay.
loved because he was a stone degenerate, man. He was my favorite guy in any restaurant. I mean, till later on, I met Joey Esposito, but Kenny, what was the old guy, was at the desk there, and right underneath the menus, he had the gold sheet. And he was calling in like bets on the Knicks and the Lakers. It was fantastic. And I don't think his wife was a big fan of that because whenever I mentioned it to her, she didn't think it was any funny joke. It was kind of like that thing I put up about the Mar-a-Lago Naked and Afraid episode on Discovery last night, which I just pictured a naked Trump coming out of the bathroom while the
Well,
feds came in to raid. Yeah.
he wasn't there, so
Yeah.
they conducted this raid without him being present, which is what you can do when you're doing a search warrant for materials instead of people. It's not like an arrest warrant.
Yeah.
But as you said, naked and afraid, you like that image. I don't necessarily want to think about that image. That will put me off my lunch. And but my new thing of like what you were saying is that not even the safes are safe at Mar-a-Lago if people are coming in and just cracking.
What if
open
they
the
just
safes.
found like a sandwich in the safe? That would have been great because it's National Sandwich
Yeah, like an
Month.
old Big Mac, all those leftover Big Macs
At
that the
McDonald's.
national championship team.
Yeah, I mean, those White House parties cater by McDonald's. Yeah, you talk about me not having any originality, but the red wine thing, you really have to get off my back on that, Mike.
All
Now,
right,
it's
all
not
right.
fair.
I didn't
mean,
realize it was a medical issue. I probably
it's like
should
finding
have.
out somebody was blind and then you're blaming them for misplacing something. I mean,
Very,
come on.
very insensitive of me. It's like, and I should be better. I know on the Facebook group sometimes these people
You're
who
cruel.
have
You're cold.
celiac disease
Yeah.
and they're looking for gluten-free pizza or cauliflower pizza, and and again, if people have a
That's
health
disorder.
condition, that's totally excusable. Then your diet, you have to adhere to a proper diet. But I wouldn't even go seeking a recommendation for gluten-free or cauliflower pizza because to me that's not pizza. I
No,
just would
gluten-free is
rather go
awful.
in
Yeah.
other different directions. And
I'd rather feel the pain at that. In fact, Mustang was on a gluten-free diet for a while, and she was getting these gluten-free pizzas. They really look like they came from outer space. It's not even a pizza. I mean, the consistency and I mean, you talk about crunchy. This was like the time my dad microwaved the Thanksgiving turkey
hey,
and
so
did the whole thing in the microwave. I mean, it just came out like it came from some other lunar atmosphere.
I've
Crazy.
got I was purposely stalling on sandwich day of what I had
yeah.
today, and I was gonna say well, first of all, I was gonna play
This
a
has
little
become
prank.
very popular, though. This is a big part of the show. Where you
I was gonna
introduce
play a
what you're gonna
prank and
stuff
say
your
that
face with. Yeah.
due to my own health conditions, I've gone to just fruit salad. I'm gonna forsake the sandwich with some berries.
Do a healthy sandwich. You can
Great,
do a veggie
delicious
sandwich.
berries.
It's
But no,
possible to have a
come
healthy
on in,
sandwich,
Scott.
Michael.
I got my buddy Scott.
Oh,
Ah,
Scott. I thought you were
you know, I
bringing
was-
in B. Mayo to do the demonstration.
No, I was tied up all morning with all kinds of meetings and Dixteen, and it's Tuesday morning is Best of Del Rey Zoom meeting morning. But I dispatched Scott was my delivery man to where else? The pizza spot. And I got
chicken parm.
I've got
All the-
he got a couple ones. He's got chicken parm. And
A
I
couple.
got meatball parm, and
Oh,
I had a
nice.
chicken sandwich yesterday from Shenanigans, so I'm gonna go meatball parm because I've never had a
Super
full-on
close.
meatball parm sub.
Curious
from-
about that. Yeah.
but we're gonna say thanks to Scott B, my
Scott.
neighbor.
Scott, way to go, kid.
Appreciate you, my
Nice
friend.
job.
Thank you for helping out.
Yeah.
Well, how are you?
I'm good. Good to
so
see you. Last time I saw Scott, he was at the pizza spot.
So,
Probably
yeah,
couldn't hear
no,
us.
that's
Yeah,
right.
it's
He's
sometime.
big fan of Wade and Reese, and I told I called over there, and he
Is
was
he
already
delivering
there.
for the pizza spot now? Do they deliver? Or is that a new
Yeah, no, that's his new
service they
gig.
provide?
Scott is
Yeah.
Oh, he
the
actually works.
Spot's
Okay.
delivery man. No, that's but no, we got here. Look at this. Oh my God.
That is a
And,
good question. Does the pizza spot deliver, Mike Mayo? Do they have delivery? I wanna
no,
say
that's
no to
one of
that.
the
Yeah.
one of the charms, or some might say
Yeah.
challenges of the place. They are not on any delivery apps. They don't have their own delivery person. They are old school in the way that also one of my locals here, Concadoro, is if you want our product, if you want our pizza, if you want our great heroes subs, you come in and get it yourself. You
I
call
like
in.
that.
And again, that way, if something is wrong or if something is, you can't like get a delivery and then try to send it back and get a refund and saying, "Oh, the pizza was cold." Yeah, of course it's cold because if you put it in a box and the delivery driver has to make 4 deliveries, it's going to be
drives to
cold.
Ocala, to get it to your house. That's crazy.
So-
All right, so that's a meatball. Wow, look at that thing. Hold that up so we can get a cross section view of that.
And this,
Okay, you got to tilt it a little bit. That's a
and you got
meatball.
it. Yeah, you see
Parm
under the
sub.
blanket of cheese. Now Wade does not cut his to-go subs in half. That and speaking of slicing,
you might want to do that, or you might want to consider it.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna do that.
Are you going to be wearing that shirt the rest of the day with your Zoom meetings and all that stuff? Because you might want to consider
the show is
slicing
over.
it up.
Now, I don't think Scott wants me handling his sandwich, but I'm going to open it up and
All right.
it looks the same because
Put some gloves on.
The chicken parm. And of course, our friends Wade and Reese over at Pizza Spot, which is in Fort Lauderdale in that Riverside Park neighborhood. That's right across from the Riverside Market. There, I think it's 6. I should know the address by now, but it's 601 Southwest 12th Avenue.
You go down there, you make a left, you make a right, you make another left.
Yeah,
that's how you find it. It's real easy.
A little bit hard to find. Easy to love. That's the chicken parm.
Whoa, look at that thing. We didn't get really a good view of that. I mean, we got
I don't want
paper
it to
in our
fall
face
over
there.
the place because
Don't be afraid to touch it, man. Just pick it up and grab it with your hands.
No, because like it's not my.
You know the guy. I mean, he knows you're healthy.
There it is.
Wow,
and again, it's got that
burnt thing to it. Yeah,
that char. You're gonna call. Don't call it. Don't use the B word.
Well, I don't mean burnt in a negative way.
Yeah,
it's charred. Okay.
Yeah,
char.
So that's his chicken. It looks absolutely beautiful. Oh, look, Scott even brought a plate and a knife. So we're gonna divide it up and carve it up and have a couple of bites. And we love Wade and Reese. We love the Pizza Spot, and I love their subs. They have these you would like it.
Since when are you so formal? You normally would have choked down half of the sandwich by now.
Yeah, someone there.
All of a sudden, I hear plates clanking. I mean, you would think you were at Kosta's.
Look at this.
Crazy.
Look at that big ball of meat.
Oh my God! Look at
that. That's
that
nice.
Looks great. Now you're talking, Mayo.
Are me and you dividing this up, Scott? Are we going to have half and half? All right. Well, here, take your. We'll get.
Once you open the package.
All right, Mike Mayo's making executive decisions as we speak.
Executive decisions.
Which,
I'm going to just go into the meatball right now.
Do it, baby. All right, let's see it. Mike Mayo, meatball
again,
sub.
National Sandwich Month. We're on day 9. On the Lunchbox, and here goes with the Pizza Spot, Fort Lauderdale meatball.
A moment of silence
sub.
for Mike Mayo. Here we go. Chomping into it. Got a mouthful. Looks like he's Popeye eating spinach. He's got that one cheek out there. Could be chewing tobacco, playing baseball, and it looks like I would imagine if it came from the Pizza Spot, there's no way it's not going to meet with your approval. But will it make it to 4 stars? That's the question. In an unbiased and just absolutely, unconditional opinion that you have about this thing. What do you think?
I love the way the roll. It doesn't. You don't like it when it's too crusty. This one is a very soft, sub.
Yeah,
I guess
I don't want to break my teeth.
A hoagie roll. Not really like that New York crusty semolina. This is more of like a Connecticut style, which is what they are famous for. So it's soft and you can crush down on it. His sauce is the best. I love his tomato sauce on his pizza, and it's the same sauce that he uses with the meatball. The meatballs they make every day. Actually, I think Reese is the one who makes the meatballs, and it's an all beef meatball, and it's got a good, spice mix in there with a little bit of oregano.
Zero pork in this meatball?
No, it's a pork-free meatball for our kosher friends out there. They could eat these meatball subs guilt-free, and you can eat them, period, because they are all beef meatballs. No pork, no veal. So no young animals were harmed in forming the meatballs. And I love his mozzarella is good. He uses, I think, the grande cheese for all his pizzas. And
I like that you're eating a sandwich and you went into an animal rights thing, right? Which is you talk about pita bread. This was PETA bread.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
this is
only you could do that, Mike Mayo.
Now I am going to give a little critique. It's a little salty. Something is a little bit salty in it. So that's going to preclude it from the 4 stars. But again, solid 3.5 star. Very good sandwich. Always recommended. Everything there at the Pizza Spot. Yeah.
Looked good. I mean, it really did. I told you that was the very first hoagie I ever had was a meatball Parmesan sub. It was not even Parmesan. It was just a meatball sub. This place in Oyster Bay, Long Island. And it was phenomenal. It's absolutely great. You're going chicken parm now also?
Yeah, we're gonna cut up the chicken parm. You know what? I'll wait till after the first.
Yeah,
bite.
help us, because if this demonstration goes on too long, we might be in trouble.
With who? What kind of authorities?
The
are gonna-
FCC, I don't know. Somebody's going to complain
No,
about
FCC.
this.
Oh,
Are
this
you
is
kidding
this
me?
is a beautiful thing. Yeah, so sandwich month, and no, we're talking about. So he serves his subs unsliced. I guess people can request it. I don't think he'll charge extra. That brings us to the big topic of the day on
Which
Let's
is?
Eat South Florida. I don't know if you saw this post. The minute I approved it this morning at about 6 a.m., I knew it was going to cause a tizzy because it has the two things that the Let's Eat South Florida group was approaching 86,000 people now.
Are you all right?
You
Yeah,
the
I
best
had a
thing?
little
You
meatball
need a-
came back.
You
You need a cut man, I think. after
Thank
doing
God
that.
today Scott's there for when he kills over.
Going to get you Jackie McCoy, just inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame, one of my favorites out of L.A.
The
Work the
meatball came
eyeball.
back. A little.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm fine.
right.
So where was I? Oh yeah, the two things that the group goes crazy for is when you post a receipt of something and then you complain about an extra surcharge.
Oh, yeah.
In this case, it was a woman who went to a bagel shop in Coral Springs and posted a receipt that she ordered 4 bagels
Uh-huh.
and wanted them sliced. And she got the receipt and saw that instead of the usual $1.50 per bagel, which is, I guess, what the standard cost of a bagel is these days,
Yeah.
that she was charged a little bit more. It turned out to be like $2 and something. It was like $2.20 each. She ended up paying $8.99 for 4 bagels sliced. And when she asked, the guy said, "Oh yeah, we charge extra for slicing the bagels."
It's a little
and
steep there, to slice a bagel. Come on.
it has set off a tizzy. There's
Yeah.
500 comments on that post now of people just weighing in. I think the overwhelming consensus, and I haven't really eaten, I haven't eaten it yet. I haven't read it yet. I'm looking at the chicken parm. I'm thinking about eating. But yeah, the consensus is that it's ridiculous to charge anything for a sliced bagel if they have a slicer there. But I was saying, you know what? I never usually have my bagels sliced at the
No.
store. I usually just slice them myself at home.
Yeah.
So
They throw it-
I
they
can't
throw-
imagine. I mean, that's a pretty heavy handling charge. And that always offended me when you had to pay like an exorbitant amount of shipping and handling on something. You would order some Ron Popeil thing, and it was $19.99, but it came to $69.99 by the time you paid shipping and handling. That seems absurd to me. That a guy couldn't take a knife and slice these 4 bagels in half for this poor lady. I'm with her. I don't know what kind of fetching she was doing. Maybe it offended you a little bit because you don't like it when people go over the top. But I thought you were going to talk about that one that looked like War and Peace, where the lady got stiffed at a bar or something. Where was that? Was that somewhere like Key Biscayne or somebody went down to
somewhere
a bar
down
and-
one of those. Yeah.
Oh
one
my
of
God,
those
that went
Miami
on
Beach.
forever. Your comment was absolutely brilliant on that, Mike Mayo. When you shoot back, when the guy that's in charge of Let's Eat South Florida shoots something back, like in your usual biting, sarcastic style, you were right. How many people actually got to the end of that complaint?
It was so
Yeah, that was
long-winded,
Yeah.
and this has become. It was one of my little shticks. Is like when it's like I just approved it, and I just put my comment. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. I just couldn't read the whole thing, and I was like, "Can somebody catch me up and how did it end?" Because I couldn't make my way to the end of it. I
mean,
scanned
after
it.
a while, yeah.
I scanned it for curse words because we don't allow any curse words on Let's Eat South Florida. But yeah, man, that was ponderous, as my former sports editor, Fred Turner, rest in peace, would have said. Ponderous. Get to the
Yeah,
point.
I mean,
already.
I thought it was
This isn't the
Dostoevsky.
Atlantic Monthly.
Yeah.
It's not the Atlantic Monthly. Make
Who
your
the hell was
point.
writing that? Yeah, get to the point. Where's the score? Is it somewhere near the lead? Please, Mayo. Do we
I think
figure
that
out
one.
who
I think
won?
the bottom line was there were a bunch of bartenders hanging around, and none of them wanted to serve her. The end.
Sound like she was in the Bahamas.
That sounds like
didn't
any
it sound-
bar.
Yeah.
It's-
Luck in
it
South
sounds like
Beach. I mean,
They're all
that's-
busy on their phones,
every day.
texting. You can't get
That
good
is
service
annoying
these
though.
days.
Like, and this happened to
Oh,
me.
it sucks.
I don't want to specify Subway because it seems like I'm picking on them. But I remember going into a Subway once, and there's a tiny little Subway. It's like a mini version of the Subway store just off Commercial Boulevard, 995. You ever been in that one? And it's just
Yeah, the
east
little
of
one.
95 Commercial.
Little
Very
one.
tiny little store, right? So I used to go that way to work, and every now and then I'd come home and I'd think, hey, I'll get some for lunch. Stop in there, and there would be nobody else in the store. Two people there that are supposed to be serving, and one is on her phone texting. Oh, look at you!
That's
And the
nice.
other one is like doing her nails, and nobody ever looks up. and you're standing there like whistling,
Oh my god!
and nobody pays attention. Chicken parm, that's your favorite. How did you end up with a meatball when you sent somebody to get you a chicken parm sandwich
No,
for
no,
the
no,
show?
no. Don't misunderstand. I actually dispatched them. I sent them to get the meatball parm because I'd never tried it
Okay,
in
all right.
sandwich form.
There you
I've
go.
had their meatballs, and now I've got sauce all over my face. This is really quite disgusting.
No, it's
But
perfect.
because my thinking was I had a chicken sandwich yesterday for the sandwich day,
Yeah.
so I wanted to mix it up and get a little meatball action. But Scott, to his benefit, he anticipates my needs wisely. Why not have both on the lunchbox? Because it's a feast here every day. And I tell you what, that chicken parm is stunningly good. That's 4 stars. It's not overly salty. The sauce is perfect. The chicken cutlets are well breaded, and again, that nice white meat. Chicken breast
7.5
fried up.
stars in total there on 2 sandwiches. Now, where else would you go? Where would you be inclined to go to get like a meatball sub or something along those lines? I know Kosta's has a chicken parm. These are places that we recommend all the time on the show. But is there any place just in general, Mike Mayo, that you think of and you think Italian, hot Italian subs? Not. I know you love VNS. Maybe I'm partial to
No,
Las
no,
Panas,
VNS,
but
VNS,
anywhere else you would go?
VNS does hot Italian subs. They
Yeah.
they make a warm sub. They'll make the chicken parm and the meatball parm there at
Yeah.
VNS in Boca. So I love them. A place that you wouldn't necessarily think of for chicken parm, but it has a great one is Sonny's Steak Hoagies. It's like known for their cheesesteaks. It's
Oh,
a,
yeah.
a guy, he bakes his own bread. It's also in West Hollywood near the Hard Rock. Been around for over 60 years. And Sonny's Famous Steak Hoagies, cash only, really good value, and fresh baked hoagie rolls every day. And he makes also an outstanding chicken parm at a good price. And then my new place for chicken parms, thanks to Tom T and his recommendation, and also Evan Darnell with Red Meat Lovers Club, Seaside Subs up in Deerfield Beach. I think it's in the Cove Shopping Plaza. Really lovely husband and wife that run the place, and they do an outstanding chicken parm there, along with a roast beef melt sub that's called the Big Dave. And I'm going to have a Big Dave at some point this month because that's also a winner. So,
Very
and
nice.
again, you go to a lot of pizza places. I'm sure you have your local pizza spot, pizzeria, like New York Italian joint. where you
There's a
get your-
zillion pizza places, right? Not necessarily right by me, but on Atlantic Boulevard, on the eastern side. You've seen it, right? I mean, you went to that Heavenly Pizza. There's Pasquale's across the street. There's Umberto's. There are at least 2 or 3 other like pizza places in that same area there. So there's no shortage of that type of place. And if you know that there's one that has just like a particularly awesome meatball sub, I mean, that would be good information to know for sure. And I would imagine there are plenty of places out west also that have this sort of thing. But just curious if you had stuff off the top of your head there as a gambling gourmet, and with your many travels, if you've run into exceptional meatball or chicken parm subs other than the couple of places.
Like,
we
will you
mentioned.
differentiate one place for cold subs, one place for hot subs? Because I would. Like, I feel like if you're getting a cold cut sub, that's one kind of a place over going to like an Italian restaurant for
Yeah.
like a chicken parm or
Well,
meatball.
again, some places specialize in both. Like V&L to me is the top of the
Yeah.
game. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go into like my local Concadoro for. They actually do an Italian sub, but I wouldn't. That's not their forte. They have also a good veal parmesan sub. That's a good price. And like I'm sure near you, Pasquale's is your place that you would. Get.
I don't frequent it that often, although I've been in there, and they do have real good looking pizza there in Pasquale's. I know
That's really
it
good.
gets-
Their
draws
subs are
high
good.
praise from many people whenever.
And
it's
there's
mentioned.
one in Coral Springs too,
Yep,
right
Yeah.
there,
their pizza's
Lubie.
great. We love that's when we want really good pizza, we go to Pasquale's. Like, their
Yeah.
pizza's
So
great.
no shortage of all kinds of good spots around town. And hey, you know what? It's a good time to start talking about Visit Lauderdale. Speaking about spots around town, we finally firmed up.
Did
on
you nail
Thursday.
it down?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to be going to a place called Niran's Kitchen. Niran''s Niran's Kitchen is a relatively new, and it's an Asian restaurant specializing in the cuisine of Laos. So it's Lao
Wow.
or
Wow.
Laotian cuisine.
Ocean.
Um, which is very similar to Thai, but not exactly. They have a lot of familiar dishes and a lot of Thai dishes, but they also have some things that you don't find anywhere else. Because I don't know of any other Laotian restaurant in Broward. So again, lovely woman Vatsana and her husband Chris opened it up about 6 months ago, and I've been in there once before, and I went in yesterday, and they're happy to see us.
Where's it
And
at? Where?
so it's up in Deerfield Beach, just across the street from the Olympia Flame Diner, which
Oh,
is
nice. All
friends
right.
of ours, Patty Miranda, we like, a longtime Let's Eat South Florida member and contributor. They're off all month long for vacation at the Olympia Flame Diner, but they are not off at Niren's Kitchen. They're open every day except on Sunday, actually. And we'll be out there Thursday for lunch with Nikki Mohan and the whole gang. And, we love to go and check out all the spots around town and offering different types of cuisine, because that's what the whole Visit Lauderdale, everyone under the sun, every dish under the sun segment is about. And in that same vein, we have Dine Out Lauderdale going on all month long, August and September, 2 months actually. So go around Greater Fort Lauderdale, dozens and dozens of top restaurants offering amazing 3 and 4 course meals starting at just $35. Places like Evelyn's at the new Four Seasons Hotel in Fort Lauderdale Beach, which has a great, very talented young chef named Brandon Solomon, and he's preparing some excellent upscale Middle Eastern food, Mediterranean food. Makes all his pita breads and Jerusalem bagels in house, and they come out and they have all these dips and the mezes. And on the Dine Out Lauderdale menu, you have all kinds of good choices for your appetizer, entree, and dessert. And downtown on Las Olas, there's a whole bunch of restaurants that are taking part, including Wild Sea Oyster Bar and Grill at the Riverside Hotel. They have good things on their menu, including the shrimp remoulade. That would be a New Orleans
Nice.
classic, and chicken milanese, and a limoncello mascarpone mousse. And our friends over at the Catherine, Timon and Marissa, they have a Dine Out Lauderdale menu that includes their heirloom tomato and burrata salad, short rib with summer corn, and a couple of desserts that they make fresh in-house daily. If you want to check out all the Dine Out Lauderdale menus, check it out online at visitlauderdale.com/deals. Right now, there's more than 50 participating restaurants, and more taste sensations are being added by the day. So check back there often and start planning your culinary adventures to Greater Fort Lauderdale all month long in August, all month long in September. So get your taste of the good life for less by going to visitlauderdale.com/deals.
Sounds good. I think I mentioned this before, but it still strikes me. May's Kitchen, a very popular little Chinese joint there, only takeout or delivery. And the place is not exactly what you would say palatial when you look at it, just the physical presence of the building. But they've designed it inside. It's like a check cashing store where they have like bulletproof glass, and then everything comes through a box that they design out
Oh
of
my God.
plywood, like, so you have no contact whatsoever with the people behind the counter. Not the safest of neighborhoods, I guess. At night it gets a little seedy, but that was kind of an interesting touch for picking up my chicken fried rice last night. All right, more on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. He's got 2 sandwiches. He's two-fisted today. They both look sensational. They're both from the pizza spot, and we'll have more with Mike Mayo Feeds Himself on the Lunchbox in a moment.
People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. And there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent you. From our friends at Visit Lauderdale and Lauder Deals, don't miss Dine Out Lauderdale during August and September in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Dozens of top restaurants are offering amazing 3 and 4 course meals starting at just $35. See all the Dine Out Lauderdale menus from more than 50 participating restaurants online at visitlauderdale.com/deals. More taste sensations are being added daily, so plan your culinary adventure to Greater Fort Lauderdale and get your taste of the good life for less. Dig in now at visitlauderdale.com/deals. And we're back on the Lunchbox on a Tuesday. Kosta's Pizzeria and Greek Eatery. We're going to be there next Tuesday, gentlemen. The monthly visit will take place next Tuesday. Maybe I'll try the chicken parm there. But right now, if this is Food Wars, I hate to pit, the chicken versus meatball. But right now, chicken is winning. Chicken is
really?
a great sandwich. Yeah. The meatball's good, but it is a little bit salty today. And Scott was saying a little bit of the same thing. A beautiful meatball. Well,
half a strike. That's all you get. Half a strike on that. So
actually,
3 and a hook on the meatball, and go ahead and order the chicken parm. That always looks sensational too. The way they did it there at the pizza spot, always looked great.
I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I'm just finishing this.
Yeah. How are you going to be on Friday? Tommy T is saying he's going to make 5 sandwiches and a lasagna for this appearance.
I'm greedy.
I'm hoping he grills a couple of oysters too.
And boudin and oysters.
What do you think?
I'll be dead by the Sabbath.
Yeah, you're going to need a standing 8 count before the show on Friday if
oh my god,
if Tom comes through. Like he's going to overdo it. There'll be enough food for
of course,
50
he's
people.
the master of overkill, and if anybody who's met him know that he likes to cook.
Yeah,
he cooks with love and passion.
And
he likes
is Nikki Mohan in for Friday also? I know she's
I forgot to text her. I'm gonna ask her.
Invite the babe. You always want to invite the babe, Mike Mayo. Always invite the babe.
Meanwhile, I just got a text here from our friend Pat Utter at Shenanigans, and they're celebrating their 30th anniversary later this month.
Does he do a chicken parm too?
Yeah, you know what? They do a chicken parm sandwich at, they put their menu is so vast. It's pretty much you ask for anything and you can find it. I like their chicken parm. I've had it often late night because that's what the Shenanigans is there when you need it most, which is after you get knocked out of a poker tournament or your date doesn't go as well as expected, and you can go in there at midnight and grab a beer. But
that's a good one. Ditch the date and then go to Shenanigans.
Yeah,
that is the perfect form. Now you're a man's man, Mayo. You're really starting to figure this out.
Working my way back.
Ditch her before the meal, and then call it a day. Yeah.
He texts me from time to time because he's one of those long-suffering Dolphins fans, and anytime the latest news comes up about the whatever the latest miscue or things going on,
they're going to be fine, man. You're talking Super Bowl.
No, that's fine. But no, he actually just sent me a Mark Twain quote or something that's attributed to Mark Twain, and I don't know what this is referencing, but it just says, "It ain't what you don't know that gets you in trouble; it's what you know for sure that just ain't so." So
exactly.
I had one today too that struck me, and I think it was on Facebook, and that this was yesterday, but it would have been very appropriate to pop this up on my little thread that I had going about Naked and Afraid Mar-a-Lago. And that is, stupid people will bring you down to their level when they're arguing with you, and then they always win once you're on their level of being stupid.
You can't understand.
I don't like to, I'm not going to get into any kind of name.
No, but I mean, just in general, I mean, I'm not saying that it applies to the political aspect of this, but just in general, that's probably true. Somebody that, really doesn't know what they're talking about, they'll bring you down to their level in an argument, and then they ultimately win because you give up because it's so impossible, to get a point home with somebody that just doesn't want to believe truth.
I found that to be the case in terms of dealing with women and, fighting with.
Let's not get into that, Mike Mayo. I would imagine a big part of the Let's Eat South Florida contingent is women.
Of course, but I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just saying that somehow inevitably it turns into, what the debate professors and coaches would call the Ad Hominem Attack, and that's Latin, fancy Latin for basically making an argument personal instead of arguing the merits of a debate. When you say, "Oh, what do you know? You're fat and stupid," and I'll say, "Yes, that's true."
We're
But
guilty of that.
can you
yes.
argue my point that they
Taxes.
shouldn't charge extra for slicing a bagel because it's not that much extra work? So,
By the way,
so-
and you know one of my pet. Oh, go ahead. Finish what you were going to say.
no, I mean, I was just going to say with the ad hominem, yeah,
It sounds
always,
like Ralph Cramden to me, the old homina
hamina
argument. Yeah.
right. But no, that's just fancy Latin for an unfair personal attack. And just the last word I want to have on this whole search warrant thing. I'm hearing all this screaming from people like, this is unprecedented to do this kind of
Yeah.
thing
It is.
against an ex-president. How could they do this? I was like, well, it's kind of unprecedented for a former president to commit some of the thing to do some of the things he did in office, and you reap what you sow. And if you engage in all this behavior over all this time, where you actually have, they don't issue these search warrants lightly. You need some kind of evidence. And again, what our good buddy Joe Cassell, again, former attorney, sports agent, man.
But what
who knows-
hasn't Casal done, by the way? And,
He's
and
great.
Why doesn't he invite us to his house for dinner? I mean, this guy cooks like he was Wolfgang Puck, man. I mean,
No,
he's unbelievable.
He likes to cook, and maybe he can come join us. Actually, I think he's on the road this weekend for his. He's back in the NFL booths. He does spotter duty in a lot of the broadcast booths. But hello, Joe. But he made some good points that they wouldn't have made this step. That means that somebody has turned. Somebody very close to Trump has given very specific, credible information about something that.
Who's the rat? That's the
feds
question.
are looking. Oh, there's so many
Who
candidates.
isn't?
Now, I don't want to get into this now because I'm busy. I'm going to stuff my face with the meatball again so we can move off of this. Let's talk about you know what I wanted to get into a little bit is I need to kind of make another mea culpa, another apology.
To me?
No, not
You've
to
been
you
very
this time.
insulting
Oh,
lately. I
where
mean,
do you
just what about Lubie? Lubie, you've been
It's
nice.
just like a
to.
restaurant
No, I've
thing.
been
He
nice to
said
Lubie.
stuff
Lubie's been
that-
Lubie's been impressing me with his
Yeah.
overall taste and again
Don't be
range.
fooled. Don't be
Yes.
fooled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And David Portnoy, I kind of criticized him
Okay, yeah.
for his what I thought was overly harsh and way underscored review of the pizza spot. Also considering some of the other, high scores he's given places that are not necessarily great at all. And I think he does a lot of, he plays favorites and he has certain friends. And, I'm not alleging anything untoward. I don't think, he needs any bribes or anything like that. He's got plenty of dough. But my mea culpa is, even though I still dispute his low score that he gave to the pizza spot, I think he's pretty entertaining. I really do enjoy watching his videos now. And I don't know if you see any of them, his whole shtick of the one bite review. And even though he takes more than one bite, I've gotten over all of that. But it's very engaging and entertaining watching him go around the country and now even the world. He was in London a couple of weeks ago for, I guess he's managing or sponsoring a couple of these UFC fighters. And he was at some of the matches that they held there in the O2 Arena. Wembley or whatever they call it now. But he was reviewing pizza places in London. It's just very... I like watching him. So, so sue me. That's it.
All right. Well, I mean, you know what? His greatest accomplishment was, and he accomplished what would be, I don't know about your dream personally, but certainly mine. He had his business enterprise bought out by a casino entity. When Penn National bought Barstool Sports, and he made like $1 billion. So I applaud him. He can do whatever he wants. I will say this. I mean, look, and you've seen it to be true. Kosta said it. He was reviewed very favorably by Portnoy and also Wade and Reese at the pizza spot. I mean, if he goes there and he doesn't condemn the place, they're slammed.
Yeah.
From that point on, which I mean, that's a real asset to these small businesses that we're trying to promote. But I mean, both of them would say the same thing, that the attention they got from Portnoy and any kind of positive feedback that he put out there about their place eventually led to a large increase in business, which is great.
Yeah, when you have 4 million followers. Now, those followers are spread all over the country and world, but it definitely trickles down and impacts a business, just like, the way that
Let's Eat South Florida.
things on Let's Eat, even
Let's Eat.
with our 85,000. When a person that's a member of the group finds something and then others follow, like the big cult hit right now is this Chung Man chicken that's, I guess, just opened up on University Drive in Davie. It's kind of like a Korean fried chicken place. I don't know if it's boneless only or has some of them on the bone, but I've been meaning to get in there because it seems like every other hour somebody is posting from Chung Man Chicken. And yeah, when you see that's the kind of the nice power of social media. The other night, and that brings us to my friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. Even though they've been around a long time, over 70 years before the advent of social media and Yelp and all these things, they know how to do things right. And I was very pleased to see my friend Ellen Freed, and I see she's on the chat line, that she was there with a big group for a birthday celebration last night. One of her friends, Mike Linder, celebrated the big 7-0. He's right behind you there, Defo.
Tough number, man. Tough number.
And they went in there and they got, again, the greatest service, great hospitality. Ellen was a little bit, I guess, surprised because it was 7 o'clock on a Monday night. And they were already sold out, 86th on the prime rib, which is one of their specialties.
Wow.
She ended up getting the steak au poivre, and she loved it. She said it was really hit the spot. She liked everything about it. Basically, what happened was they make a certain amount of prime rib each day based on their projections on how many people are going to be there. And there was a whole group, a tourist group that might have been from, I think she said it was either Japan but it was the whole group got the same thing. They all ordered the prime rib, so they got wiped out. And these things can happen sometimes, and then that's why there's plenty of other menu options. I love the filet mignon. I love the rack of lamb. And if you're in a seafood mood, you got the $35 seafood lobster special. It's going Monday through Friday all summer long. Can't beat that deal. And we're going there, gentlemen, next Wednesday. So if any Lunchbox fans are out there and want to come say hello, have a drink at the bar, we're going to be out there next Wednesday for me to finally repay my debt of the Panthers first round. They actually eked out a victory in the first round only to fall flat on their faces in the second round and get swept in shame, swept away. But anyway, Tropical Acres Steakhouse, 2500 Griffin Road. The butcher shop is open every day, so you can pick up stuff to grill at home from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The dining room opens at 4:30 every day with the early bird special, and then happy hour in the bar for the first 2 hours until 6:30. They're open every day but Sunday. Half price wine night tonight, Monday and Tuesday, half price wine. So it makes a good value even better. Go into Tropical Acres and tell them that the Lunchbox, Lubie, and Defo sent you.
A waiter's worst nightmare. You just finished off taking the orders off a six top, and you pushed the special hard. 5 people ordered it. And then as you walk into the kitchen, you hear the chef screaming, 86 to special.
Yeah, that sucks. That's got to suck.
Now you have to go back to the table there and tell people, that's the kind of thing that fuels arguments on Let's Eat South Florida. But no, I mean, they do a great job there. Tropical Acres, always a classy joint. It's a classic. It really is, Mike Mayo. I mean, you can't put it any other way except that it's just a classic place that really does a great job. All right. More on the Lunchbox. Looking forward to next Wednesday night. Is Sarnie in on that deal there? Is he going a la carte, as they say, or are you going to pick up a tab for another guy? Why not? I'll throw another invitation in there. All right, we're coming back with more on Mike Mayo. I'm spending Mayo's money here during the break while he's got a mouthful of sandwich.
You're already on the hook for the wine. That's on the record.
Yeah,
You're going to pay for the wine because it's not half.
I should only pay for half the wine because you were willing to go for the half price night.
Yeah, but how are we going to get a mixed
I rethought
half?
my position on that.
It's not like ice cream where they sell half vanilla, half chocolate. You can't get half Chardonnay and half,
your red
Cabernet
wine. Yeah, of
Sauvignon.
course, yeah. I'll have a cocktail. All right, coming back with more on the Lunchbox in a moment.
You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. And looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo here for Kosta's Greek Eatery and Pizzeria. If you want to take a trip to the Aegean without getting on a plane and no need for a passport, just go up to 1940 Northeast 49th Street in Pompano Beach, just west of Federal Highway, just a little bit north of Sample Road, and you will be transported to Greece along with a New York-style pizzeria. They do it both so well. They got Greek specialties like gyros and souvlaki and the grape leaves and the spinach pie, and also great New York thin, crisp New York-style Greek pizza with pepperoni. Don't miss that one. And of course, spinach and gorgonzola. Kosta is a great guy. He'll smash a plate, say Opa, and greet and treat you like family. Go to Kosta's. It's open every day for lunch and dinner. Tell him the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. And we're back on the Lunchbox, a Tuesday edition. We are talking about Sandwich Month. I just am polishing off now. And this is a first where I'm going to actually go through the whole sandwich and eat it all during the showtime.
Did you eat your buddy's sandwich also, or
So what'd
is
you
this
do
still
to
the
the
one that you had?
Now, Scott had to go off. He had to deal with his daughter's car's air conditioning is on the fritz, so he absconded with his half sandwiches. Although he took a couple of bites, and yeah, these things go down really easy.
Wait, did you eat both halves? So
Yeah,
you're gonna be
well,
eating a whole sub?
Nothing
the
left for B Mayo.
The chicken parm is gone. Now B Mayo is on a kind of a modified. She just wants to have she's finishing up her turkey dinner from Roberts because she likes it's just nice and plain, easy on her system. So yeah, I'm smashing through this whole sub today.
See, I can eat a whole sub. It's a lot of bread.
I used to not be able to do it, but then once we start this endeavor and you encourage me to eat like 7 hot dogs in 10 minutes, this becomes no problem.
That was a simple challenge. This is a little hard to justify on a daily basis.
Hey,
Although, what was that thing? Did you ever find out from Sonny? What was that sandwich? Was he posting that on Let's Eat South Florida? Was that for public consumption?
It was a hot dog.
He had a sandwich.
I didn't even look at it. I didn't
very
see
strange, man.
I
it was a
didn't
hot
see it.
dog. Okay.
It was a cheese hot dog with yellow mustard.
It might have been on. Was it on his personal account or was it on Let's Eat? It's hard to tell.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think it was his personal.
Well,
Yeah.
meanwhile, Sarni is such a stickler. Like he was all over me. Like, well, where's the day 8 sandwich? Because I had on the show yesterday, I had the leftover from day 7. I've been posting them on Instagram. So, okay, you got me, Jim. I didn't have a specific new sandwich yesterday, which is why
the whole thing, the whole routine is over.
because I banked one last week. I ate 2 on Thursday because I knew I needed one to keep one in reserve. So I posted on Instagram that my day 8 sandwich was the duck confit sliders from Three Sons Brewing.
Weekends don't count on this show, though.
Also,
you weren't responsible Saturday and Sunday. We're only on the air 5 days a week.
I'm
Come on,
only
Jim.
about what's on the air. What you do on the weekend, that's your life. Like
That's
I
your
can't
business,
eat 31 sandwiches.
Well,
like
but I kind of put it out there on social that I was going to do 31 sandwiches in 31 days. Ooh. I didn't say that each day would have its own sandwiches. They would be doubling up on some days, and that to get get me through the 31. Hey, speaking of eating sandwiches, let's say a fond farewell and good luck to Serena Williams. And
Did
that's
she
only because
retire? Yeah.
she was a Subway sandwich spokesman. That's why I
Yeah.
said that. Okay,
All right.
she gets paid by Subway to pitch sandwiches. That's why I associated her with eating sandwiches. There's no body shaming here, and if I'm going to be body shaming anybody, it's me. I am just I've let myself go. But yeah, she announced this morning, I guess, a Vogue magazine cover story that the U.S. Open will be her swan song. She will be retiring.
She's going to play there.
She is going to play and have a final last hurrah at.
I watched her match
Meadows.
yesterday. Yeah. And it was interesting because I just happened. It was right after the show. She came on the court there playing in Toronto against a qualifier, a woman who had qualified to get into the tournament, which this isn't one of the majors. So, I mean, you have a lot of people that would be unranked in the field. And you also have, some really top-notch players. But she was life and death to beat this girl. And I was talking about it was a very misleading headline, Mike Mayo. You can appreciate this, where you wrote a story that maybe was like a scathing indictment of Stephen Ross. But the person only read like the first word where you're being sarcastic, setting it up. And thought it was a favorable story about Stephen Ross. And, it would write a headline in the Sun Sentinel like, Ross, a fan favorite among Dolphin backers. Right? And you're like, wait a minute. That couldn't be any further away. The headline on Serena's match yesterday was Serena advances in Toronto in straight sets. And the truth was, this was the most life and death match I've ever seen for a straight set victory. This woman took her to the wall, including a 20-minute serving game that she had to endure where she staved off like 6 break points or she might have lost the match. And I thought she was announcing a retirement after that match because she realized that she just really doesn't have it anymore. I mean, she's just not Serena. But, all right, so she is going to play the U.S. Open then, and then she will be involved in this tournament again in subsequent matches. Because when I saw that she retired, I thought she just realized that that's it, walked off the court and said, I can't do this anymore. I'm no good.
After
and I give her credit for getting it out there now. And again, because that way, instead of facing all the questions of, is this going to be your last U.S. Open? Not everybody knows she takes her swan song and, she deserves all the accolades that she gets. And hopefully she has one, is able to summon one magical final run to.
Well, and so much for losing weight, that whole concept while eating Subway subs. That clearly has not happened with Serena. I don't know how many she's eating every day, but wow.
See, there you go. I try to avoid the body shaming.
It's not a body shame. She's just not in shape. An athlete that's not in shape. It's like, look, it doesn't matter. We love the heavy people in sports. This Vogelback guy is lighting it up for the Mets. I mean,
love that guy.
Him.
He gives us all.
You watch
hope.
him run around the bases. It's fantastic, right? He's going to pull something, even if he's on a walk. I mean, like he gets a base on balls and he pulls a hamstring. It's crazy, but
it's like in golf. I always used to root for the Craig Stadlers of the world.
Kiridesh Effie Barnrat, the fattest golfer that we've ever seen. You seen this guy, Kiridesh Effie Barnrat?
He's like 380.
No, I missed him.
He was
he's great, man. I mean, he literally defies all stereotypical stuff that you would say about the waif-like golfers that we see that all look the same. He's like a 400-pound professional golfer. He's great.
Yeah. So,
he could be following in your footsteps. I don't know. I mean, but don't worry about it. I mean, even if you were like, heavy set, you can still notice that an athlete is not in the kind of condition they need to be to compete. I mean, these women are great now. Yeah.
Like myself, I used to do half marathons and I used to ride the bike a lot and I would never lose that much weight. And I always called myself fat fit, which is where you're, in shape, healthy, your numbers are good. You have your wind, but you still eat a lot and drink a little bit.
You could still fight a guy and come out on top.
But nowadays, forget it. I've let myself go. I could and basically fight a sandwich, and the sandwich usually wins. So.
This show is not good for your
not helping
physical health. I mean, it may be good for your financial and mental health, but not for your physical health.
The eating's good on air, but I don't think it's good for you.
Yeah, I mean, we essentially have made this show like watching you eat for an hour straight, which you're
Dave
still
Joseph.
eating. You were eating coming in, and you're eating on the way out. It's amazing, and you haven't stopped during the entire show.
Like moving like a tremendous machine. And Dave Joseph, my former colleague who works at Gulfstream, he wants me to eat 12 Mojo donuts in a
No.
half hour.
Oh no!
And
no,
Mojo
no,
donuts
no,
are the
no.
big thick ones.
We
big.
can't allow that. Yeah, we would be
I think
arrested.
that would be a sugar,
Yes, they
a diabetic coma waiting to happen. So I told him I'm not going to do that. I have my limits. So,
And Lubie and I could be charged in that case under that federal murder rap thing.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
If
I
you
want
checked out
Accomplice,
while eating
yeah.
on the show, we would be guilty. I guess under the broad brush of that law, which is largely aimed at
Yeah.
messing with minorities for sure.
Anyway, that's going to do it for today. We had a big day of eating, and we got a big week of eating ahead. Thursday at Neron's Kitchen up in Deerfield Beach. It's right there on Federal Highway south of Hillsboro.
Tommy T.
For Laotian cuisine. And then Friday up at Nobo Brewing in Boynton Beach. Remind me, I got to invite Nikki Mohan, who's going to be out there Thursday.
Make sure you get the word out to Nikki.
And we'll do it again tomorrow in studio here. And who knows what sandwich awaits for the next day of International or National Sandwich Month. And thanks for tuning in. For everybody, Jeff Devo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz, I'm Mike Mayonnaise Mayo saying thanks. And remember to enjoy every meatball, chicken parm sub, and enjoy every sandwich.